I feel like a lot of the time, we don't even realize how far in the future we really are. Like, technology and everything advanced so naturally since the 80s and 90s that a lot of people like myself doesn't truly grasp how evolved we are in technology. We have literal self-driving cars on the roads right now. And what's crazy is that they're made by a stoner who also owns Twitter. Well, I don't know if he does anymore. I don't know about that whole situation, but we've come a long way, and it goes without saying that this is undoubtedly true in the gaming world as well. Like, take console designs for example. Going from PlayStation 1 to 4, each console increasingly received a more modern look for the time. I'm just glad that it didn't turn out like those fake leaks from the early 2000s. Those were the internet's first cursed images. But I say PlayStation 1 to 4 because, well, when the PlayStation 5 was announced and the hardware was revealed, it was the first time that I looked at a console and really felt like they designed it for the future, which kinda caught me off guard. This design, in my opinion, is the most futuristic look that I've ever seen in a current console. It looks like something straight out of an Alienware factory. I didn't really like it as much at first, but once I saw it with a matte black skin on the outside, yeah, it was over. But the overall design makes the PS5 unique and special as a current gen console intended to be displayed either vertically or horizontally, depending on how your setup is and how you want it to look. At least, well, that was what we thought for years now. But what if I told you that standing your PlayStation 5 vertically, which is literally the way that it's been advertised for since its, announcement, could put you at risk for making irreversible damage to your console, ultimately leaving you with a broken system. So if you're watching this with your PS5 close to you and you have it vertical, you might want to just, just until you hear what I gotta say. So apparently this console has a huge flaw in its internal design that may or may not affect people in the long-term usage of their PS5. So thankfully, this isn't a guaranteed death sentence, but it's something that I feel you all should still know about, just in case. According to Alolo.net, goofy ass name, due to an apparent design flaw in the liquid metal layer between the PS5's APU chip and heatsink, the liquid metal might leak when the PS5 is vertical for an extended period of time, causing the liquid to damage the insides of the console. Now, how long on average it takes for this to possibly happen hasn't been found yet, but based on the few consoles that were affected by this, it isn't an overnight issue. This is also possible to happen in both versions of the PS5 console due to the fact that they both have liquid metal inside of them. So just because you don't have a disk drive doesn't mean you're excluded from this. Now you might be thinking, why would Sony put any type of liquid in their console in the first place with the chance of something like this happening? And honestly, man, I'm in the same boat with you, but apparently this liquid metal is good for transferring heat from the console's processor to the heatsink, which is apparently the reason why Sony uses it. But the thing is, other console developers like Xbox stopped using the liquid for potential reasons just like this, and are still successful in designing a current gen console. And we've all seen the sale numbers that Sony brings in on a yearly basis, so it's not like they didn't have the time nor money to develop a different way of transferring the heat. So it is possible to have a console without the liquid, but the PlayStation engineers obviously thought that, they were me, and that they had the professor glasses, which allows me to solve any problem in the world. But they don't. And here we have consoles out in the wild potentially at risk because PlayStation is stubborn. Now, like I said, this obviously isn't a widespread issue, or else Sony would be on early Xbox 360 Ring of Death timing and replacing a lot of consoles, so I wouldn't be extremely worried, at least for right now. But if you're like me and like to stay on the safe side always, if your setup allows you to, it wouldn't hurt to turn your console sideways. Trust me, it still looks as good. So hopefully Sony releases a statement on this issue and guarantees a fix in the future years if this becomes, a widespread problem and a whole bunch of PS5s start going haywire. But like I said, if you want to stay safe just in case, it doesn't hurt to turn your console sideways. You should be safe for now. So what do you guys think about this PS5 issue, man? Has this affected any of you? Feel free to leave a comment down below. And as always, leave a like on the video, subscribe, and I'll see y'all.